If I can further elaborate on microfinance, microfinance is basically small-scale loans to entrepreneurs who are looking to improve their income. And when I say small-scale loans, probably around the range of $2, $5, things that we use every day here, like for your, I don't know, you name it. So prior to going to Dar es Salaam, or prior to this internship, I had read a lot of literature about microfinance, and I was really intrigued by it because it really spoke of how it has uplifted many people and allowed them to work themselves out of poverty. And this internship did live up to my expectations in that sense, in that I was really able to understand from a human point of view how such a small loan can really empower someone to improve their livelihood. But on another hand, it also gave me a rare opportunity or a glimpse of understanding the bigger dynamics behind it, understanding, as I mentioned before, the dynamics behind someone migrating from a rural area all the way to Dar es Salaam just to try and make it, and then because they don't have basic education, that they would engage in any sort of small-scale activity that they could that can generate an income. So it allowed me to understand the dynamics behind rural and urban migration and the sort of role that the government can play towards empowering people so that these sort of such great amounts of migration don't occur, because one of the outcomes of such migration are the creation of slums in different parts of the city. That occurs so often. So it really enabled me to understand how much more the government can do in terms of curbing the existing levels of poverty in Tanzania. It goes beyond microfinance. It's more on a macro level. How much more can the country do on a national level? So that was the more insightful part of my internship.
Karia, coming also from a developed country, the Dominican Republic, I know how big microfinance is in my country, especially in rural areas. But if microfinance purpose is to break the cycle of poverty, as we were saying, and lift these people out of their circumstances, how can you achieve that by having people be more in debt?
Okay, there are three angles to which I can approach that question. And I think the three things that stick out to me the most are that it depends on the ethics behind the microfinance organization, because thankfully the organization that I was working with, that were really, their mission, their core mission, their values are empowering people towards working themselves out of poverty. So it depends on the microfinance organization, because the one that I was working with charged a very low interest rate of about 2.5% for every loan that was dispersed, whereas others charge as much as 20–30%, and that's really that's an exorbitant amount for anyone, And another angle you have to look at it is the sort of business they have. If it's something that's viable, if it's something that can really generate an income, and that's also where I was actively involved, also assessing how viable these small businesses are, and whether these businesses can actually really generate a further income. And the third angle is that although it does, in the short run, incur debt on behalf of an individual, I think many of them, the people who were able to use these loans to empower themselves, really appreciated it, because they said that there was a sense of accountability derived from it, in that they learned how to manage their finances a lot better. And these are the sort of basic educational skills that we develop as we grow up. But for someone who doesn't have a basic education, managing finances, managing their own personal income expenditures and whatnot, is something that's new to them. But through giving them a loan, teaching them how to steadily manage their income over a certain duration of time, that's an experiential education that's invaluable to them. So I think in that sense, the debt angle can work towards further educating and empowering someone.